before we dive into all things Susie Searches, I would love to know when and how did you first fall in love with storytelling, or rather the power that it has to create empathy and to educate? Did you have that moment?
Hmm. Mm, I mean, well, when I was a kid, um, it was more so my imagination and making up my own stories. I mean, I liked to read as a kid, but more so, I don't know if, well, I'm sure I could give credit to reading, but my grandmother, when she would watch me when my mom was at work, so like after school, um, or on the weekends, she would always play music and have me like stand on a chair and perform for her.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and she would dance around the kitchen. Um, and I would draw like little photos of I would make little drawings of food and then like cut them out. And then she would make food and then put like my little paper broccoli on her plate.
My gosh, that is so sweet.
Yeah. And so she morphed, you know, reality with my imagination. Um, and I think it just shaped the way that I saw the world and moved through the world. Um, my aunt was also a kindergarten teacher my whole life. And so she knew exactly how to activate, you
Mm.
know, a child's mind and creative awareness. Um, so yeah, when I was young, I was already tapped into, I mean, whatever that is.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's lovely. Okay, let's talk about Susie. Susie is just so beautifully complex.
Yeah.
And what I loved about this film too is she was constantly surprising me. Um, I'd love to hear why it was important for you specifically to maintain her humanity through both the tender moments and the criminal moments.
Mhm.
Talk about a little bit about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I mean, from the get-go, Sophie's one of the bigger points that she made was I want everyone to be rooting for Susie and to understand whether you agree with her or not, to understand why she's doing what she's doing. Um, and for people to not confuse, her braces for making her big and smiley, and it kind of makes you feel uncomfortable because you're scared of her, versus her unstoppable optimism kind of catching you off guard.
Mhm.
Makes encourages her actions also catching you off guard. um Being a person that you're on the journey with to understand, um as she's also on a journey of understanding what it is that she wants and why is she doing what she's doing, because it does start to change throughout uh the movie, even though a lot of who she is remains the same. Like I said, her unwavering optimism, and desire and desperation for connection and love. And although people will kill for love, and that doesn't make it okay. Again, the things that she's doing, we can all agree are wrong. They're in fact wrong. Um, but we're able to make sense of her. At least that's my job, is to make sense of her. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, from the get-go, I felt so invested in her journey. And it is so, like I said, because you played her with such humanity, and you empathized with her, even though you knew, you were rooting for her the whole time, even though you knew what she was doing was wrong, but you understood the place that it was coming from, and that was such a truthful place. And that's where
Mhm.
then it gets so complicated, and you feel so torn up as an audience member. And going on that journey was just what a treat. There's obviously so many great themes throughout this film, but I found it so interesting and impactful how it explores the ways in which our society still specifically underestimates and discredits young women.
Mhm.
Can you talk a little bit about that and how it informed, your approach to playing her?
Yeah, I think that based off of the way that Susie looks, it's very easy. If you're not the idea of beauty or sex, and you're not a person that most men are going to objectify, you're dismissed in society entirely. And whether it's the way that you dress, maybe it's the way that you even interact with men, maybe it's paying them no mind. Sometimes it's used against you that you're just being nice. And I think that for Susie, at no point do you see her um, change who she is, even for Jessie, because even in the moments where she's, you know, there's a small moment where she's looking at herself in the mirror and she's looking on her phone at, the girl that Jessie is dating. Um, she's making an effort to more so participate in society the way that everybody else is. Um, and when she puts on like a little lip gloss, when she goes away to do the show with Jessie, we talked about it, and we didn't want it to be anything that she wouldn't own. We wanted to do something that she owned and never used because she was too shy or never had the opportunity. She's not having a birthday party. She's not going out with friends. She wakes up every day and takes care of her mom and goes to school and goes to work. Uh, we wanted it to feel like she had like a little makeup kit from that we all get when we're like 12. We wanted it to feel like she finally dug that out. It was like, oh, I have someone to go see and something to do. I'm gonna put on like my little thing of eyeshadow and uh a little lip gloss, but it was always for her. She always remained pulling from the same closet, or using a hair tie that she already had. She never went out of her way to stray too far from who she is, to attract the male gaze. And also, I don't think that in her mind she even really thought about, oh, if I'm this way, then people will like me more. I think that she truly believes it's all about um, personality, which it is all about personality. We know that, but she doesn't see the harm from the rest of the world, and how they do judge and dismiss uh, women who aren't bringing them a certain amount of satisfaction. I don't even think she really lets her mind go there. Um, and I think she completely dismisses the thought because she knows that she's not going to do it anyway.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
not that like makeover moment that is so, frustrating, and
Yeah.
it's true, like her objective is that's what's so, again, so wonderful about it, is like her objective is the truth. Like her objective is solving, and
Yeah, she's still using her mind to get what she wants. There
absolutely.
is a world in which this person could have a YouTube channel,
Mm.
could do her hair and her makeup and dress she could completely change the way that she looks. She has no desire to. She has a podcast and she wants to be appreciated and seen for her mind and what she's capable of doing. And I mean,
For
she
her
goes to
gift,
great
for
lengths.
her gift.
Yeah, for her gift. That's what it's about for her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the relationship between, Jesse and Susie was so interesting because, I was thinking about this, how the film definitely sheds light on this idea of performative kindness, which is like a huge problem, I think, in our society. But again, surprised me when we sort of learn through, his interactions with Susie that he's actually genuinely a kind person.
Mhm.
And that was really fascinating to sort of dissect,
Mhm.
and how that kind of allowed then you're sort of saying those moments between them because it was genuine. Um, yeah, but last but not least, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but you briefly brought up your lovely writer director Sophie, and this was, her first feature film, and it's based off of the short of the same name. Um, how was it collaborating with her and sort of bringing this to life that was so near and dear to her heart, and just the whole collaboration process?
Oh, me and Sophie are great collaborators because I mean, I think we both have a way of preparation because we both want to get on set and for everything to just go very smoothly. Did we get the take? Okay, let's move on. And we also bonded for, I mean, nearly like a year and a half. So at that point, it's really helpful to be on set and you can see your actor's face and say, hey, you didn't like that take.
Mm,
Or am I overwhelming you with notes? Or, just one movement or look. And that really serviced us because, it's an indie movie. And I think maybe the difference is that she's the director, so she had to continue to be that way and keep structure, whereas I'm an actor, so I had the privilege of once my preparation, I mean, for me, the kind of actor that I choose to be is I do all of my preparation, and then once I get to work, we can do whatever because I know all my lines.
yeah, it's
Completely
in
going
there.
off of what the other actor is doing, and it also when we would do scenes with other uh actors, I would push Sophie to completely focus on them because again, we had a year and a half of preparation and they didn't have the privilege of that. And I think it made for a great environment um, and a great movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And again, congratulations. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and just
Thank
thank you
you.
again.